Hi everyone, we are going to continue our discussing about the list. Well, the list is again a major topic, and then in the rest of this semester, and I guarantee you are going to use list a lot. And then in midterms and also the final, and list is also a important topic. Well, here is a very quick review. And remember, what is a list? Well, a list is a collection of items, and those items do not have to be in the same data type, and as long as we put square brackets at the beginning at very end, and then we separate each of the items with a comma, and then we have a list, right? And there are a couple of the operators that we can do. For example, we can have the len, and which is to count the length of a list. And remember, when we are using the len, we are counting how many items from the top level. Well, if you have a nested list, so you have that is a list put into another list as a member, and then if we are checking the length of that list, and then for the sublist, it will be considered as only one item from the top level. And for the plus, well, a list plus another list, and that is called concatenation. We have string concatenation, and now we also have list concatenation, right? And then multiplication. Multiplication on a list, that means to repeat all the items in the content. And then we have the in operator, and that is to check whether one item is a member in a list or not. And we can do negative indexes, and we can do say for the positive indexes, we can do from 0 and 1, 2, 3, and then we move on from the left side to the right side. And then for the negative indexes, we are starting from the right side, and on the right side we started from the -1, -2, -3, right? And if we want to iterate through a list and visit all the items, and in the last lecture, the lecture 13, we talk about a total of 3 ways to do so, and you need to know how to code each of them. Okay, and then in some scenario you have to use the second version or the third version, but I agree with you, the first version is the most handy one, but sometimes the first version may not be enough. Okay, and then if we want to make the iteration and then change the value, and you can also do that. Say, well, let me write a piece of code for you guys. Say I'm in day 14, and then I have list int equals, say I have 10, 14, 16, and 20. Okay, and then if I want to, for each of the value, I want to increase by 2, and then I want to write them back. How can I do that? Say if I want to do for I in list int, okay, and then I can do I equals I plus 2, and then I want to print list int. Well, my question is, well, this code looks okay, right? We are using the for I in the list of the integer, and then we are visiting all the items, and for each of item we add them by 2. So it seems that this version is going to be okay. So before I run that, my question is, do you think this version works? Let me run that. What's wrong? Well, we started from this list, and then we try to increase all the values by 2. However, after the iteration, we get the same thing. The problem is when we increase the value by 2, what value got increased? The value is I, right? So I is a control variable to help me iterate through the items. However, we didn't write the new value back into the list. That's a problem. So I'm going to comment this out, and then I'm going to say bad. Okay, and then let me show you another version. So for I in range of the length of the list int, and then for this one I'm using the I as the integer, right? Because I started from 0, and then I will end at the length of the list -1. And if I want to change the value, I can do list int with the I as the index equals list int with the I as the index, and then plus a 2. Okay, so I'm grabbing the value from using the index I added by 2, and then I'm assigning that back to the list of the integer. Okay, let me run this one. Okay, this one works. So this is the good one. Well, the difference is, well, for this one, I increase the value, but I increase the I, but I didn't put the value back to the location inside the list. Okay? Okay, so let's come back. And today we are going to talk about the nested list, and we have seen nested list, and then we also will learn how can we do slicing. Okay, let's take a look on this example again. Well, remember we use this example and we say there are 4 family members, and we want to record all the weights of those family members. And if we want to do weight 1, weight 2, weight 3, and weight 4, and that's okay, but we are defining 4 variables, and that's annoying. Well, how about we only have one variable defined, and then we put all the integer values into a list, and then we have the first one, that is, well, a family equals, and then the 4 integers as 4 weights. And then if I want to give that a little bit, make it a little bit harder, and then try to put some extra information into the list, and then I can do the dad and dad's weight, mom's weight, and then Lee's weight, Emma's weight. And this is a better version because now we are putting together more information. However, we are following a specific pattern, that is the family member and then the weight, another family member, another weight. So we are following this pattern, so this list is not so bad. And even better, well, how about we put each family member as a sublist? For example, dad and then dad's weight, we put them together into a sublist, and then mom and the mom's weight, we put that into a sublist. So now if we take a look on the fam2, how many members do we have from the top level, or what's the length of the fam2? That is 4, because we have 4 sublists, and inside of each sublist we have 2 items, right? Okay, and if we want to, well, for the list, well, they can contain any data type. Well, and we can have some really weird lists, and we can have lists inside another list and inside another list. And for example, if we see this one, this is A, and then we have 1 Dave 3.14, and we have a nested list, right? So this big part is a nested list, and then we have the 10. Okay, and inside this nested list we have a even smaller list, so list inside the list inside the list. So mark 7, 9, and then a sublist of 100 and 101. Okay, and then the next question we want to ask is, how can we access the members inside a nested list? And for example, if you're doing the A with the index 1 and we get Dave, and we know that because that is one item from the top level. And then how about A3 and 2? A3, so 0, 1, 2, and 3. So 3 will be this huge sublist, right? So using the A square bracket 3, we are able to get this one. And then if we want to go one step deeper, and then we can do another square bracket 2, and that is 0, 1, and 2. So using the index 2 to visit the sublist, and we are getting 2. And then even harder, how about A3, 3, and 1? So A3 will be this sublist. And then inside this sublist, we have the mark 7, 9, and this one. So this one is index 3. So doing the A3 and 3, we are able to get the sublist of the 100 and 101. And if we want to do another square bracket 1, and that is the second item, so we get 101. Okay, so the trick is, if we want to access one member inside the nested list, you have to do multiple square brackets. Okay, so that's the answer. It's in Python, that is perfectly fine to do several square brackets if we want to go deeper and deeper into a nested list to grab one item. Well, we are talking about a list inside a list inside another list as a member, right? So this is kind of confusing, but from time to time, I have seen 3D lists. Okay, and this is an exercise. Well, and if we have this list and then we want to do a square bracket 2 and 0, what are we going to have? Well, or is that going to be an arrow? Okay, so a list with this with the index as 2, that is 0, 1, and 2. So we have cat. Cat is the index 2, and then square bracket 0. Can we do that? Think about it. The answer is we can, because a list 2 will give us what? Will give us a cat as a string, right? And then since that is a string and a string with a square bracket 0, that will give me the first character of that string. So I'm gonna get this C. So well, the tricky part is for the first square bracket, the first index, I'm using that index to get a member inside the list. And how about the second one? For the second one, square bracket 0, I'm using the 0 as the index to get one character from the string. But anyhow, it works, and I will get the C. Okay, and I believe I want to pause here, and I will see you guys in the next video.